can. And then I figure, if, it's because of our shared human experience that if you're doing the same thing and you're walking in, there's going to be some connection along the way if I'm being honest in my process. So it starts out kind of random in the beginning, and then and then what happens is there's moments as it goes on that did get kind of emotional. It did get kind of like like I'll give you. I don't want to spoil the effect, but for tomorrow. But there was this one moment I was sharing with somebody at Facture, and he was like, "Oh my God, that was like, how did that ever come about?" And I had picked one of the video footage I picked was the footage from the old Moby Dick movie with Gregory Peck, I think it was, and then an audio clip that I had that grabbed me was this gentleman talking about the singularity, he's a kind of a tech person, and the singularity is supposed to be in like 2045 when technology takes over our human experience. It kind of surpasses our human experience. And when I put the Moby Dick footage with the singularity thing, it actually was scary. It was just kind of fit so perfect. And I'm sharing that with this kind of real brainy guy at Facture. He was like, "Oh my God, that's like the perfect analogy." He goes, "You were just kind of like the monkey at the typewriter, right? You didn't even know. Like you just kind of like," I was like, so there was some results. I'm not saying the whole video works like that, but it really was these moments that happened that I was hoping for. You can't really plan a random moment, but you have to kind of just authentically walk through that, and hopefully you get there. And I think it's important. My thing nowadays that I think as an artist we have to think about is if you look at YouTube, if you look at Instagram, if you look at social media, you just don't want to add another random image to the world. We just don't need. Images are great. But what happens is there's such a proliferation of images that we're bombarded by every day. We're bombarded by images from, somebody, somebody getting their head cut off somewhere, some horrific image like that. And the next image is like, a little cat playing on a bed. And what happens is we've come to, these images have become disposable almost because there's such a proliferation of them. We're bombarded by them so much, and we become indifferent. So, the one analogy that I gave to this one person I was trying to, it's almost like you're eating this great meal, like, whatever your favorite food is, let's say it's lobster or whatever, or steak, and then you're eating like a cold fast food, cold McDonald's, and you're eating them both at the same time, and after a while, what happens is it never gets where the cold McDonald's is elevated, it always gets where the other one is brought down. So I've seen this happening in the art world, and it's a shame, and it's something that I think as artists and as people that are responsible in the art community, we have to kind of just be aware of. If you look at the number of hours of video footage that's added onto YouTube every day, it's staggering. If you look at the number of photos added to Instagram every day, it's mind-blowing. So what happens is we get into this cycle, right? We get into a cycle where we kind of just go through the images of the day, and then we kind of discard them. And then the next day we wake up and we just are ready for the images of that day. But when an image becomes disposable, when it doesn't carry any weight or carry an emotional meaning at any time, we're in a dangerous place. We're in a dangerous place. I remember when I was, young, there was an image of a little Cambodian girl running out of a town that had been napalmed, and the town's burning behind her, and she's running down the street. And that image carried so much weight that it actually caused, a public uproar, and actually added to the war ending earlier. But I'm just questioning one of the reasons